Thank you, Crompo. We're looking forward to getting the Aussie racing cars out on the track. Trent Young, winner of race 1 off the front row, alongside Simon Smith, who's having a dream weekend. But there are some fast guys to watch out for, Brad. Further back through this pack, Kent Quinn, a recognisable name, but this guy in particular, Kyle Clues, a DNF yesterday for him.
Well, and he's going to be looking to charging through the field as quickly as he can. That's one of the great things about this circuit, and these cars being so tiny, is you really can pass if you've got the speed.
Also a young fella out of Townsville, Hayden Stevenson, starting P7. He was in the battle for the lead yesterday, pole sitter for the first race. Got in a bit of a skirmish, turned around Kyle Clues, has been pinged a few spots, and now he'll start out of P7. He'll be ripping through the field, but there's some fast guys ahead of him, including the defending champ, Maurice Massini, also James Abella. Green flag. This is not a race for championship points, which always worries me because it means they're going to leave absolutely nothing on the table. Ready to go racing for the first time this weekend. Live, red lights. Racing with the Aussie racing cars. Trent Young gets a good jump. James Abella slow to jump. And Simon Smith in the older AU Falcon slots into second position. They charge on down to that first chicane.
And Hayden Stevenson certainly got off the line a lot better today. And look at these guys madly charging into the chicane.
Contact towards the back. They're going to sort it out just. I think James Duckworth might have been part of all that. They sort him out before they get down to turn 4. Big dive bomb from Adrian Flack up the inside. Damien Flack sitting inside the top 5 as Trent Young leads us down the back straight along the beach, along the boulevard, the sand, the sun. It really is the party where a race broke out. For the first time of 12, we'll go through the big chicane. The curbs look a lot bigger in comparison to these smaller cars.
Well, they do, and one of the difficult things as we get back in the field a little bit is these guys can't see the apexes of the corner when they're in such a tight group. It's all right at the front where they're all spread out a little bit.
Change for the lead. So the battle's on straight away. Simon Smith, your new leader, and Trent Young, Valentino Rossi style, wants to get it back as quickly as he can, and here's drama big time. Kent Quinn's involved with this one, Adrian Flack as well, and this could be the first safety car of the day. Hagen Skinner is the third car involved. Have a look at the damage on the back of Adrian Flack's car.
They don't look like they're going anywhere.
Oh, there's more going on. Kyle Clues, former series champ, failing to pass cars early on, involved with a very early accident. No safety car yet. We're still racing with the leaders going side by side down towards turn 1. Maurice Massini will have the inside of turn 1. We can try and get 2 cars into here, but it's going to be tough. They sort it out now. We're seeing yellow flags and safety car boards. Your leader puts the hand out the window, Trent Young, to slow the field down. Recognition that the board's being held out, and Brad, probably a wise move.
Well, I think so. I mean, Skinner's car there looks not so bad from this side, but on the other, it's got a wheel hanging off it. So really need a few minutes to drag these cars off the circuit and open it up so we can have some excitement and some passing. Let's see what happened here.
Oh, massive dive bomb down the middle. That was Adams who came flying in, and Kent Quinn, last man on the scene in the Game Over VIP Pet Foods car, and he wore it, didn't he? That's why the right front was damaged. Took a fair bit.
Well, there's a fair bit going on there. Skinner looked like he was going to hit the wall. Let's see from inside the car.
About 2 or 3 accidents in one here.
Yep, exactly.
It was all over very quickly, locked him up. That's Kent Quinn, brother of Clark, son of Tony. And the Quinns with a strong involvement in GT racing and also the Aussie racing cars. Kent's managed to climb out of this one. So first accident, first safety car for the weekend. Plenty more to go though on the Gold Coast. Stick with us, we're just getting started here at Surfers Paradise. Had drag racing on the main straight last night as well.
Wasn't that sensational? That was unbelievable. It makes a ground shake, those nitro dragsters. I mean, they're just amazing.
It was all about bringing the party back to the Gold Coast this weekend. And I definitely get a feeling that that's kind of happened. We're going to have concerts going late into the night. Hilltop Hoods, Lil Jon here this weekend as well. But the Aussie racing cars are out there at the moment. We've had a lap 1 accident. All drivers safe and accounted for, which is the good news. But the Petters SRT safety car has picked up the field, and looks like we might be getting 1 more lap in behind the safety car before we get ready to drop the hammer. Brad, you've driven a few cars around this track as we check out another replay of how this all started if you've just joined us. 2 separate accidents really, and watch this big T-bone here for Flack. It wasn't quite a T-bone, got him more on the left front, but nasty accident.
You get the feeling Flack just sort of could see that there was going to be an accident happen. He turned in a little bit tight, and it looked like he got clipped there, and it was all over. He was into the fence as well.
Hagen Skinner had his accident all on his own. 2 completely separate accidents, and then Kent Quinn joined in the party right at the very end. So So we're just
really flat got turned around in the car 20, so he was just unfortunate.
That was a nasty impact. This is a replay of the start once again. P7, Hayden Stevenson, the guy out of Townsville, had a shocking start yesterday. A little bit better this time. It was a Bella, young teenager out of Sydney, who was a bit slow to jump, former karting champion. And also Ubergang trying to make up a few spots this weekend. Adam Ubergang, also his brother Mick, racing here this weekend. He started off the back of the grid. One more lap. I was just saying earlier, you've driven a few things around here, NASCARs and Oscars. Can you believe it? We used to race NASCARs around the extended circuit.
It was amazing. I've got to tell you, they were just fantastic to drive. Didn't stop well, but had a lot of horsepower, and you know, there was no exhaust, so they just used to make all the windows rattle in the buildings. Amazing things.
Famous names like Alan Grice and Charlie O'Brien, Terry Fisher, these guys that used to run around in the NASCARs in the Thunderdome. What a great idea to see these things running around a small track like this with no brakes at all. And Indy cars obviously had such a great run of successful years running around the longer version of this track. Names like Mario Andretti, Alonso Jr., John Andretti won the first race here back in 1991, and now it's all about the V8s, and it still packs a crowd and it still brings the party back to the Gold Coast.
And it's been going for such a long time. Was it 24 years or something? I mean, it's amazing how long we've been coming up here, and you know, the crowds are great. It's been getting busier and busier all the time. Everyone's adjusting to the shorter circuit we have here, and well, I think we're in for a cracking race this afternoon.
How are your cars going this weekend? Fabian alongside with Jason Bright. Restart coming this time by a few more corners away. They looking good this weekend?
Yeah, I think so, especially Fabian in the Lockwood car. They've been struggling a little bit with the BOC car to get the setup that they're happy with, but no, I think we're in good shape. Long race though, a lot of attrition here. So you've got to stay on top of it, and track position is king. 102
laps coming later today. There'll be driver changes. It's the last round, the Pertec Endurance Cup. We get ready for the restart. This is race number 2 for the little Aussie racing cars. Smith and Young alongside each other with NASCAR-style double-file restarts, riding on board with Maurice Massini, current Australian champion. This could be absolute chaos down at the first chicane.
Smith and Young, it sounds like an accountancy firm, doesn't it?
I'm a little bit worried about how this is all going to pan out when they get down towards the first chicane. Expect to see a few guys maybe cutting it.
They're lagging back there at the back of the field a little bit, but they're nice and tight at the front. Expect a really, really good restart here.
This is kind of like watching the old Indy cars run around with the rolling starts. A couple of guys going just a little bit early. Trent Young wins that battle from the front, and here goes Hayden Stevenson. Can he fight his way back up to take second position and maybe have a shot at the race lead later in the race? He should have second. Hard under brakes. Oh, he nails Smith in the door, but he gets away with that one. So we all slot through. A bit more contact in the background. And they all file through down towards turn 4. And they're hairpin, everybody still trying to find their own little bit of space. Jostling for position. It's Trent Young who leads us out and down the back straight.
And Hayden Stevenson up from 7th on the grid. He was our pole sitter yesterday, and he's really in the right spot to attack.
He was fast enough to win a race yesterday, absolutely no doubt about it, but he turned around Kyle Clues and paid the price for it. He did finish second, but got relegated 5 spots as a result of the contact that was made. Oh, Smith wants second back, and a big dive bomb. This should actually open up the good old-fashioned over-under. We'll have the inside sit here, Hayden Stevenson.
And the great thing about these little cars is normally they can go around a corner side by side. So you're really not disadvantaged too much if you can get that position up beside someone. You can go side by side for a number of corners in this class.
Simon Smith in that little AU Falcon is very good.
Well, you watch these cars and they rear steer them a lot. They're very taily. They drive them with the back hanging out, and you know, it's one of the things that makes them so spectacular. Plus, with the aero they have, they can really slipstream one another, get a draft, and slingshot past people under brakes.
Right in
as
behind.
We're about to notice.
Yeah, exactly. A hard braking spot to try and make a move stick down here, and Flack's going to go short-cutting across the chicane this time. Careful how many times you do that in the V8 Supercars later today. Massini, late breaker move this one under Adam Ubergang and makes that move stick. So Ubergang's managed to climb up a few spots. Different livery for him this weekend in the orange. Seeing him out there in the fluoro yellow and black. Down through the curves once again. Massini looking like handing over that Australian #1 title at the end of the year. Again, this isn't for points here this weekend, which means that they don't have to go conservative or worrying about collecting as many points across the weekend, just trying to win races. Watch out, Uber gang. Oh, thought there was going to be contact. They sorted it out through turn 11. Here's James Abella, inside move, potentially not on. Falls back in. How's the way these things pick the wheels up out of the corner?
Yes. And the other thing is, even though you've got the side mirrors and the one inside, I've actually raced one of these little cars. You can't see a lot behind you, and you're so busy in them, you don't have a lot of time to look around. So when they commit, they really commit. And as you said, they're a little bit soft in the back. They pick up the inside front wheel, which makes them look a little spectacular. They're all the same. It's a bit of fine-tuning here and there. And as you can see from the performance, there's not a lot between each car.
Down towards the turn 1 chicane once again. Damien Flack having a good battle right now with Tyler Greenbury, who's managed to find his way up to 4th. Queensland racer in only his 3rd race with the Aussie racing cars. First time on the streets of Surfers Paradise. Former CIK Stars karting champion.
Really good little peddler. He raced against my son a fair bit, and so I got to see him at a lot of go-kart races, and he can certainly drive a car.
Damien Flack, the man ahead of him, was racing in Carrera Cup last year, has experience running over in the 24 hours of Nürburgring, also 12 hours of Spa. He's done a fair bit of racing over in Europe. He's got a few more years on Tyler Greenbury, but Greenbury's got around him and is sitting up inside the top 5, driving well. Also, the guys to look out for, Kyle Clues has driven off the back of the grid, and he's going to get another spot up the inside of Abella. Abella did a very good job to see that late move, and that was for 9th. So he's driven his way from 26 on the grid all the way to 9th in about 4 laps of green flag running. That's not bad at all. We expected him to see him passing a few cars, but he surprised even me today, picking up that many in such a short amount of time. Right on the back with Maurice Massini.
It's one of the great things. Wow, look at that. One of the great things about this class is they're all so tight and close, so they can pick one another off.
Here we go, battle for the leads on. Stevenson has closed up that gap. Trent Young will have his mirrors full. He needs to be patient though. Stevenson threw it away down in turn 1 yesterday. He's got so much car speed. He was the pole sitter for yesterday's race. Trent Young in the Ultima will know exactly what he's dealing with right now.
And these guys are just starting to ease away from the rest of the field.
We haven't seen Hayden Stevenson race in 12 months in this series. Also another man with a fair bit of karting experience. And now he's climbing all over the back of the race 1 winner. You'd be brave if you're going to try it down at turn 6 on the approach through to the chicane. Where does he do it? Where does he think this is the maybe 11 down here?
I think it's a bit early, but 11 is a good passing opportunity. You've got to set that up at the last corner of the chicane. And Trent Young is blocking him a little bit. That's costing him a little bit of time. So Stevenson can't get by.
Oh. He's not going to go the outside. He's thinking about some kind of over-under, but with turn 13 being a right-hander, it wasn't going to work there. Needs to get a good run out of this Castrol Edge hairpin and maybe set a move up down towards turn 1. Has he got the drive out of there? Probably not close enough just yet. He was closer on the last lap, to be honest. Trent Young knows he's in for a fight right now.
But he did get a really good drive out of that corner, and he's in a slipstream, so I don't think he's going to be able to pass him under brakes at the end, but he'll be right on him.
Gaining, gaining, gaining. Has a bit of a look. A bit of unconventional slipstreaming. Wasn't right up behind the rear wing. Young is way better on the brakes.
That Hayden takes there. It's throws the car right up into 4 wheels. He's certainly thrown the car around. And we're developing quite a dice back here. Massini.
Massini locks the brakes, nearly tags.
Trying to go past Damien Flack, who's doing an excellent job in that car. He's a really nice bloke and doing a great job of driving in this really tight bunch. And he's going to be working hard to keep Massini behind him.
We saw Adrian Flack earlier with the big accident on lap 1. This battle for the lead still on now. This is going to be called the final lap. No surprise, given we had a fairly lengthy safety car, so he's running out of corners to do this. Young is so late on the brakes down at 11. Has he got time? There's only 3 or 4 more corners remaining in this one.
Certainly doesn't look like he's going to leave anything on the table.
Last corner coming. Young drifting the back end around is just too good on the brakes.
No.
Stevenson's desperate. He closed the gap, but he just couldn't get around him. And it looks like it's going to be 2 from 2 for Trent Young. The run to the checkered flag. The New South Welshman will finish first twice this weekend. Checkered flag's out. First race of the day complete on the Gold Coast. Congratulations to Trent Young. Fairly faultless race from the lead and a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. That was a great last lap of those two. Plenty of sideways action and not too much biff, which is good to see.
But the weekend is still young. These guys have a few more races to go. You'll be able to catch them again tomorrow. Oh, there's a bit of Bathurst desk plastic bags out on the racetrack. Hopefully we don't get too many more of those out on the track a bit later on. Kyle Clues ended up climbing his way up to 9th as we check out the end results after what was a fairly frantic 9-lap journey with the safety car. Trent Young in a very tight race over Hayden Stevenson. Tyler Greenbury keeping his nose out of trouble, 4th in the end. Maurice Massini dropped back a few, back down to 7th. Bella got passed by a few guys towards the end as well. Adam Ubergang came charging up a few more spots. Grant Denyer finished 12th in the end. And towards the back of the field, we didn't see too many more issues after that first safety car. So that wraps up the first of our races so far today. Still plenty more to go on the Gold Coast.